Homicide rates are way up in major cities, and they all have one thing in common. The nationwide anti-police movement is having a huge impact on crime rates, and it's not looking good for America's most liberal cities. According to the Wall Street Journal, homicide rates in the 50 biggest cities in America have increased by an average of 24% across the board. In New York City alone, more shootings have been reported in the first 7 months of this year than almost all of 2019. Almost 1,000 people have been killed or injured. Experts are blaming the increased violence on the government shutdowns that have forced the closure of businesses, schools, and churches, displacing many lower and middle-class workers throughout the country. That, and the billions of dollars cut from police budgets in response to Black Lives Matter protests. To counter the increase in crime, liberal mayors have chosen to focus on gun control and social programs, with little evidence that this will actually calm the growing unrest. One thing is clear, something must be done to save these struggling cities, and the harsh reality of these new crime stats makes the conservative law and order agenda more and more appealing every day. New Republican voter registration numbers say a lot about the upcoming election. Just under 100 days from the election, most leading national polls show former Vice President Biden ahead of President Donald Trump by a concerning amount. But the Trump campaign and Republican Party's success in registering new voters is telling a way different story than the most recent polling. According to Axios, the Trump campaign has registered 100,000 new voters ahead of the 2020 election. That's more than doubling the number of voters added when he won in 2016, and it's making a huge dent in the voter registration deficit between Republicans and Democrats in key swing states. The registration effort has helped Republicans in Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Florida by tens of thousands of voters. Right now, the Democrats still have the edge in those states overall, but who knows where that's going in the next 3 months. As Chairman Ronna McDaniel said earlier this week, this is only the beginning. She told Axios, "As enthusiasm for President Trump continues to grow, so does the Republican Party. Over 100,000 new voters are ready to cast their ballots for 4 more years of President Trump's promises made, promises kept agenda and elect Republicans up and down the ballot on November 3rd. With most states allowing registration into late October, both campaigns still have plenty of time to take the lead in recruiting new voters. But this jump for Trump is undeniable proof of enthusiasm as we get closer and closer to Election Day." Biden's latest gaffe? Asking a reporter, "Are you a junkie?" Former Vice President Joe Biden has made a fool of himself on the campaign trail time and time again, and by now, President Trump has taken note. The president has teased endlessly and seriously suggested that Joe Biden should take a cognitive test to increase public confidence that he is even qualified to be president. Though Biden previously fought back by saying he is frequently tested on his mental functions, he didn't stick with that story today. Instead, he took a lot of offense to the questions about it. Biden lashed out at a group of Black and Latino journalists in a rare interview, saying, "No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test?" Had he stopped there, it would have been fine, but of course, he didn't. The gaffe king continued, "Come on, man, that's like saying before you got on this program, you took a test where you're taking cocaine or not. What do you think? Are you a junkie?" The whole encounter has become a big hit on Twitter and fueled the Republican accusation that maybe Biden isn't doing so well mentally. Sleepy Joe just can't catch a break. Trump beats Biden fundraising numbers by a lot. Despite the recent polls that show former Vice President Joe Biden leading Donald Trump by the double digits, the Trump campaign is doing just fine. The latest fundraising reports prove it. According to the numbers reported by The Hill, the Trump campaign outraised Joe Biden by not just 1 or 2 million, but by 25 million in the month of July. The president's campaign also reached a total of more than $1 billion raised for the 2020 cycle. That makes July the best fundraising month for Trump and the RNC in this entire cycle. While it's hard to say what actually fueled the huge disparity in fundraising numbers, it's easy to imagine that Biden's gaffe-filled media appearances, combined with his embrace of violent protest movements throughout the country, have had a major impact. One thing is clear, though. With fundraising numbers like these, the Trump campaign will have the funds to increase campaign staff and reach even more voters by November 3rd. Joe Biden should be worried.